Sometimes I realize you got to check and say, where did this thought come from? Because where it comes from determines where it's leading to. So here's what's interesting. You get a thought and you'll catch it. And it may even be a comfortable thought. You know, when you tell yourself, oh, I'm not this or I'm not that or whatever, it's comfortable because it brings you down to the level of familiarity with your insecurity. So here's what I pictured in my mind. Let's say you want to go to Miami and you get in a really nice car. What's a really nice car? How nice you want to go? Let's do a Bentley since we're just making it up, okay? Let's say you get in a Bentley that's headed north on I-95. Here's what God showed me. You may like the ride, but hate the destination. So before I catch a thought, I gotta find out if I get into this thought, if I indulge this thought, I'm saving somebody's marriage today. I'm saving somebody's sanity today. Because before I catch this thought, I gotta know, where is this coming from? If it's not coming from God, it's not leading to my calling. If it's not leading to my calling, I don't care how nice is the ride, I don't wanna end up somewhere I never intended to go. God called me to Canaan. God called me to purpose. God called me to joy. God called me to peace. You get to catch this word. God called me to abundance. God called me to overcome. God called me to victory. God called me to generational legacy and freedom and hope and joy. How many times in my life have I ended up in a destination that I hated because I caught a thought that didn't come from God? Faith is contagious, so is fear. They were spreading it all around the church at Corinth about Paul. And Paul was like, hey, remember me? I'm Paul. Y'all. It's the original Greek. The one who loved you and taught you. I taught you. I taught you. But sometimes it's taught, but it's not. This word from God only becomes yours when you get close and receive it for yourself. Now, just because I say it, just because I taught it, doesn't mean you caught it. And if you worship God at a distance, if you don't really enter in, you catch the thoughts of whatever you're the closest to. I promise you. That's for a high schooler over here. Paul says in 2 Corinthians 10:4, the weapons that we fight with are not carnal, or they're not worldly weapons. We don't depend on, the psychological strategies that are the most efficient. We want the wisdom of God in our life. We want to know the ways of God. He said, these weapons that we fight with, they have divine power to demolish strongholds. What's a stronghold? It can be something that you run to. When you have a stronghold, it can be a place that you go for shelter from an enemy. It can also be a place, though, where an enemy entraps you in something that you ran to. The same stronghold, the thought, depending on what thought, depending on whether you listen to Caleb or the other spies, depending on whether you believe the pure word that God has spoken over your life about the essence of the Spirit that He placed inside of you, that thought, let's call it the dominant thought. What is the dominant thought? I've been working through this in the last year, just on a personal level, to realize that some of the states of mind I find myself in, it was a thought that I caught, and then the thought caught me. And even now at this stage in my life, I had this thought like, and I know this might sound like offensive to some of you or whatever, I'm just gonna say it though, it's like, like your best is behind you, you're aging out. It's like some people don't even start preaching until they're 40, But it became a thought. It started planting because, my kids will see me on my phone and they'll be like, that's an old man way to do it. And it's like, oh, wow. Is that what I am? And I let the thought, I caught it. I caught it. And sometimes you don't even know where you caught it from. But something will get inside of you. And then it becomes a dominant thought, not just a sneeze. It becomes a flu. And then you catch that thought and you don't let it go even though it's leading you somewhere you never intended to go. Like this one. I think this a lot. I don't think it exactly like this, but I was trying to summarize it in the essence of what it says is, I'm not enough. I think that a lot. I think that a lot. I think like smart enough, whatever, godly enough, disciplined enough, tall enough. What else? Oh, I think a lot of times, raise your hand if you've ever thought that, by the way. I'm not enough. I'm not gonna stand up here by myself. Y'all, pray for everybody. Put your hand back up if you ever thought I'm not enough. Pray for the people with their hands down. Pray for their pride issues. Or I think like, how something can go really good and when it's going good, you think it won't last. Oh, it won't last. One of my friends said it's like, you feel like you're a kid going downhill on a bicycle, like really fast, and it's really fun, but at some point, this doesn't end well. And I've often been in my moments of really great joy, but picturing all the ways that it could fall apart to the point where I could not enjoy the fruit because I was so fearful of the attack. You ever thought that in a good moment, in a good relationship? Like, oh, well, they're gonna leave too. Yeah, that's a stronghold. That's an example of a stronghold. That's an argument. Did you notice what Paul said? Go to the next verse in 5. We demolish arguments, arguing against what? The purpose of God. We silence the 10 spies that say you can't. We demolish that. We destroy it. We obliterate that. Not with worldly weapons, but with spiritual dimensions of reality and revelation through the power of faith. We demolish strongholds and every pretension that sets itself up against the knowledge of God. I know something about God. I know that He is for me. I know that He is with me. I know that He has called me, equipped me, positioned me, enrolled me, enabled me. I'm running out of thesaurus words. Y'all can say amen anytime. I know that He has sanctified me. I know that He has empowered me. You make up one. I know that God has set me, established me, strengthened me, spoken to me, forgiven me, healed me, delivered me, brought me, taught me. See, this is what I'm talking about. When you get a dominant thought of the goodness of God, when you know that God is for me, who can be against me? Canaanite what? Hittite what? Ammonite what? Perizzite what? Cellulite what? Come on, somebody. I know that God is for me. I know that God has spoken. I know that He established it. I caught a thought. I caught a thought. See, you know, I got into depression because I caught a thought. How am I going to come out of depression? Asked Jeremiah. This I recall to my mind, therefore I have hope. Y'all didn't hear me. It is because of the Lord's mercies that we are not consumed. So, you know, next week when you go back to work and people are like, you look different this week. You don't look so stressed this week. Make sure you tell them what happened. Tell them, I went to church. I caught a ride to Elevation Church. I caught a ride to that crazy church with the orange neon logo that points up to where God lives, that points up to his thoughts, that points up to his ways. For as high as the heavens are above the earth, so are my ways above your ways. But tell them this, tell them, I didn't just go to church. Watch this. I caught a thought. See, I was struggling with my shame, but I caught a thought of his grace. When I caught a thought of his grace, it was greater than my sin and shame. Don't you understand? The way out of this pit is for you to catch a thought of praise. Come on, right now, do it. Get a thought on your mind of the goodness of Jesus and how much he's done for you. I got my joy back because I caught a thought. I got my peace back because I caught a thought. When I think of the goodness of Jesus and all that he's done for me, back up, devil. I caught a thought. High five 10 people, tell them I caught a thought. 10 spies, tell them I caught a thought. Surely goodness and mercy, come on, catch this, shall follow me all the days of my life. Catch this faith, catch this favor, catch this hope. I caught it. I caught it. He had me in the fowler's snare, but the grip of the grace of God was stronger. I caught a thought. That's how I made it through the dry season. I caught a thought. That's how I made it through the breakup. I caught a thought. That's how I came out of anxiety. I caught a thought. That's how I breathed when the pressure was inside my chest. I caught a thought. Like the sail catches the wind, I caught a thought. Like a surfer catches a wave, I caught a thought. I caught a thought. I caught a thought. Because the enemy had been robbing me. I had been holding on to something that happened to me, and it made me bitter. But I caught a thought. And I realized that if I forgive, I can be free. I caught a thought. And then I realized how much he had forgiven me of. And I realized I got to let this go. To receive. I caught a thought.
Hey, thank you for watching. Make sure you subscribe to this channel so you don't miss a single video or live stream, and share this video with a friend. And don't forget, you can join me live every Sunday. Thanks again for watching.